Good morning, viewers. Walter here. Most of my viewers know for some time now I've been rebuilding my deck. It's been quite a project, keeping me kind of busy from making my regular scheduled videos. But today I wanted to share a little something with you. Something I did that's really stupid. We're looking at my new, really stupid. We're looking at my fairly new Hercules sliding miter saw. Well, I had an accident yesterday with this thing that could have got me hurt, and I thought I'd explain what I did. I had a 4x4 up here. I was cutting a post for the deck over there, and I'm cutting a 4x4. I'm standing on this side, fortunately, holding the left hand. Normally I would be over there, and the 4x4's turn this way, so that's why I came over here. I pull it back, turn on the blade, start coming down against the 4x4. Right about there, it's cutting the 4x4. And I'm sliding it through. And then as well, I'll just chop on down and chop the 4x4 in half. Well, without thinking, you see this framing square here? It was in one piece. Now it's in two. I chopped it in half with that saw. And what I had done was mark the 4x4 where I wanted it to cut, and I just laid that framing square. It's an antique framing square, can't be replaced. Something like that. I don't know where it was. I forgot it was there. I'm concentrating on the 4x4. When I came down and it caught that framing square, and I think it was actually standing upright. I think it was actually standing upright like that. Anywho, I'm thinking to myself, let's cut that 4x4 in half, and I push it down. And when it did, instantly, it caught that thing right there. It did not move another inch. It came to a screeching halt, just said, boop! Well, this thing flung all up by my hand. I don't know how I kept from chopping my hand off. Could have did more than that. It could have stuck me. But it just dug this framing square right up into the 4x4. Actually, the 4x4 acted kind of like a shock absorber. And it broke the plastic right here on the saw here and bent the blade. Well, I took a channel lock pliers and looked through here and found 2 or 3 teeth that were just mauled. Well, I got to finish cutting this 4x4, and I straightened those 2 teeth and went on through the 4x4, and it was pretty obvious from the sound and everything else that it wasn't cutting good, but I got the board cutting too. I just want to caution you about power tools and the need to use your brain sometimes instead of just getting in a hurry. Now, I've only used this saw probably for maybe 40, 50 cuts. I'm really still new at it. But something like that will get you hurt. I'm not going to lay any, see, there's no place to put your tools. You got your tape measure. I got to make something for it. So I went to Harbor Freight. Got me a new blade. They're $29, $30. So whether I like it or not, today I'm going to have to do a video on. I'm going to have to do a video on it. But today I'm going to replace this blade, and I thought I would just do a little bit of video coverage of that. In the meantime, I want to show you what I did on my deck. We'll stop and then we'll come back to the saw. I was late getting started yesterday, but I'll show you what I got done a little bit on my steps here. Today I'm probably going to, after I get this blade changed, I'm going to continue working on my steps. So I put my post in over there in the back corner. Put some good bracing on it. I didn't put it right up against the house. It's pretty solid. I had to work at it because I didn't have it trimmed out just right, but I got my kickboard put underneath my stair treads, my stringers, bolted down into the concrete. and attached my stringers to the 2x4. All 4 of them. I only had 2 brackets, but I took a stringer bracket and sawed it up and made 2 brackets out of it. So it's pretty solid. We're pretty well ready to start putting some boards on here, but let's go over here and work on my saw for now. All right, I got both my cameras on today because I'm not sure which footage I'm going to use. We'll begin by pulling this wrench off the back of this saw. Now, I've never changed this blade before, but I studied up on it on YouTube. I've already unlocked the thing and raised it up. Let's make it more stationary. I hope I didn't seriously damage the motor, but it instantly stopped it the other day. I do not have it plugged in, by the way. Now, you would think all you got to do is just loosen this bolt on the blade and take the blade off, but that ain't quite the way it goes. All this guard and stuff has to be moved. So from what I've studied, this bolt has to be loosened right here, and it's got a T30, I guess T30 end on that wrench. So we're going to loosen that one. Oh no, might not have a grip on it. All right. We'll loosen it pretty good. We'll raise this up and loosen this one over here. All right, I've loosened it quite a ways. I'm not going to fumble with it no more. Let's take the screw out. Oh, it came off then. I don't have to take it all the way out. I just didn't have it loose enough. See, it's already came up and I didn't realize it. So we got to take our blade off now. Put the wrench on there. Somewhere over here is a spindle lock. Here it is. All right, the spindle is locked. All right, this has a reverse thread on it, this thing does. Well, I had to fumble with it, but I got the bolt off. Can't find them right offhand. There's one there where it just destroyed the tooth. These 2 teeth here are bent. I could continue to saw with it if I straighten it and resharpen it, but I went and got me a new blade. Anyway, for those who might want to change your own blade on a Hercules miter saw, loosen this nut, raise this up and loosen this one quite a bit. But it's got a little slot where you can bypass it, and the whole shebang raises up far enough to get the thing off. And then the spindle lock button is right there. You have to push in on that by rotating the blade and pushing in on that until it locks. I wouldn't give you 2 cents for this little wrench here. You'd be better off with a 1/2-inch drive ratchet. I got it with a 1/2-inch wrench, but I had to fumble with it. Other than this plastic that broke off and cracked right there, I don't see anything else really broke. And hopefully I got the blade on there right. Let's see if it got knocked out of square. Where's my... Duflunker. Best thing we could do is cut a board and see if it's square. Let's do them apples. Blade on there and a blade of 2x4 up there. I've plugged it in. Got all my tools out of the way for a change. We're gonna make a cut and see if this thing is still cutting square. Would be nice if I had a shelf where I could lay my ruler and stuff down, but I ain't got it here. I'll lay it right there. Here we go. You know what I forgot to do? Loosen up the Duflunker. Told you I was new at this. Well, it cut smooth again. I would say it's cutting pretty square, considering the abuse I put it through. Could be off just a little bit on that inclination, but to change that, you got to get down into all the nitty-gritty. All I'm going to be doing is cutting some 5/4 boards today. Anyway, that's how I change my blade. I fumble with it until I get it on there. Sure does cut smooth with a new blade. I watched somebody's video on YouTube and he was cutting pressure treated and it was gumming up his blade. So when I get done, I probably got to clean this blade. Let's figure what we're going to do on the steps today.